You can't just sort of get by. You have to think about the future in the long term, and we do. And that pitch and that understanding how you build something that is sustainable and not just a flash that's going to create a great spike but then drop just as quick is much more the way Canadians try to process things, and I think that's a great fit for the shift the world has to make right now.
That's right. 100%. So let's actually talk about one of the priorities that's really important to all of us here, which is getting more women entrepreneurs, because, you know, we're one of a few right now. And, you know, I was part of the Canadian Entrepreneurship Initiative. One of the big pieces of research we did in Canada was asking Canadians to name an entrepreneur they look up to. The first problem was 50% of Canadians couldn't name an entrepreneur they looked up to. And then the other 50% of Canadians named great entrepreneurs, but, you know, Bombardier, Alexander Graham Bell, you know, great entrepreneurs, but deceased, old, and white males. And so what are you doing to encourage more women to be entrepreneurs?
For us, it's just about recognizing that getting more women to succeed isn't just about doing the right thing, it's doing the smart thing. You cannot have an economy that is doing as well as it can unless everyone has an opportunity to participate to their fullest degree. And the barriers, whether it's pay equity barriers, whether it's child care and child benefits, the things that we're investing in to give people options and choices are about their success, but it's also about all of our success. We talk about understanding that diversity and different points of view is an essential ingredient for success of an idea or a company or a community or a country. Well, the basic diversity, you know, half of us are men, half of us are women, making sure that we're having both of those perspectives represented from the start is an essential path to success. So we understand that, and we're pushing very, very hard, making sure that whether it's recruitment to boards, whether it's success in schools, whether it's recognizing particular tools and barriers that need to be removed for that success to happen. I mean, before I could name a cabinet that was 50% men, 50% women, it took me a few years to reach out and draw in great women candidates from across the country to prepare for being able to do that. And then once you have women in business, women entrepreneurs, women in government, the caliber of response, the caliber of answers, the caliber of solutions changes as well. And you know this, Jack. What products are put forward, the way they're put forward, the solutions that you have are better than when it's just, you know, men driving it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
I think I couldn't agree with more. This is so good because for Alibaba, we have a woman CEO, woman CPO, Chief People Officer, and woman CEO operation. There's one thing very interesting. Women, they really care the husband, parents, and the kids. The question they always ask, I have to take care of, which one should I choose? I have 2 kids and I have a career, which one should I choose? Men never ask you these questions. They only care for themselves. And when you're running the company, women focus on people and men focus on products and technology, but they forgot finally all about the people. The technology products always improve people. So when we have a lot of women leaders in our company, they making sure our products, our service are people-oriented, people-friendly. It's not like for technology, but it's technology for people, products for people. And this is what we believe in the 21st century. We should have more women leaders.
You're right.
So next year is the year of China-Canada tourism. What do you hope Chinese tourists discover about Canada?
Well, first of all, when we talk about things that computers can't replicate, I don't care how good the Oculus Rift is, You can't replicate a Canadian scenery.
We can't go to Whistler
you
on
can't go to
we can't
Whistler.
go
And tourism is going to be an amazing driver for services, for opportunity, for wealth, for economic growth. We love our country. We love to share it. Looking at the year of China-Canada tourism for 2018 is extraordinarily exciting. We just had a big year for tourism. 2017 was our 150th birthday, where we had record numbers in our national parks. We had so many people coming to celebrate this great milestone for Canada. But I think a lot of people in the industry think of it as, yeah, Canada 150 was, a practice run for the huge year that's going to be 2018 China-Canada tourism year. It's very, very exciting that we see this opportunity to showcase Canada to the incredibly growing market that is China for consumers and tourists, but also highlight the deep connections and ties, as you mentioned. 1.5 million Chinese Canadians who are great ambassadors, long historic friendships with China that go back to Norman Bethune. There is a connection between China and Canada that gives us a tremendous opportunity to share these stories and to build opportunities to both get to know each other and for Chinese consumers and citizens to, when they return home, say, oh yeah, I want to get some more products from Canada because this was a great visit and it was a great time. This is an amazing opportunity that I want everyone in this hall to think about how they can seize.
Absolutely. And having been everywhere, there is just some enormously beautiful parts of this country. So how can Alibaba help Canada increase the amount of tourists that come here?
Yeah, I'm passionate about telling a lot of young people and people in China come to Canada. Tell them what a lot of people say Vancouver, take for example, is the city most suitable for people to live. What does the city look like? Right. So you see the environment, the trees, the air, the sky, which we never see that in Beijing for a long, long time. The most luxury
I think the thing is, in Vancouver, you can't see the air. In Beijing, you can see.
It's a lot of fog and rain.
And I think...
You see the rain, but we're not going to tell them
We're
about
not going
the
to
rain
tell
in
them,
Vancouver.
don't tell anyone.
But one thing I want to also tell, encourage the Chinese tourism, not only to Canada, to all of the world, especially the developed countries. Tokyo, New York, San Francisco, Vancouver, and these big cities all had the same problems like China, Beijing did.
Yeah.
If they can make it, why China cannot make it?
Yeah.
Of course.
Right? If Vancouver, if New York and Tokyo, London, they clean the airs, why China could not? This is, I want more Chinese people, young people, travel around the world, learn from, respect, appreciate the culture of the different countries. People coming here, I think most of Chinese people will be shocked by such great environment that your country have. If a country with such a great environment, people have the trust on the product, service you make. So this is what we think we are passionate about.
Yeah.
And the second, how can we encourage them? Of course, we have Ali Trip. We have 500 million people using our services. We also would love to hope that the Canadian government can give an easy visa problem for Chinese people.
I think that was
It's not easy. And it's not easy for young people in China to get visas. If you're using traditional ways, they have to deposit the money in the bank and get a certificate. Oh my God, it's so complicated. Today, using Alipay, they have the Sesame rating system, easy. We should trust the young people. Right? If Canada...
For the record, this is not the first time Jack's made that pitch to me.
And Jack knows it's actually not that easy for Canadians to go to China sometimes either.
If Canada announced easy visa for Chinese young people with great rating system based on the payment or whatever we system created, I think it's going to be huge news. It's going to be great incentive to Chinese tourism. Young people love to come here. When they come here, their generation will come here. This is good. This is I'm pushing the government for a long time, and I think I promise, as Alibaba chairman, we will keep everybody come to Canada with online visa. We will have a good rating for them. If they do something wrong, we will punish them instead of you. And also,
I think we've just heard about Ali
We'll
Visa.
talk about that.
and
might be part
also,
of the problem.
and also, please, the immigration department give those people more. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem, but people coming to this country, they don't know a lot of the culture and things. So I like my city, Hangzhou. People, if they make driving, the people from the other cities, when they come to our city, they don't have the traffic rules and they're all going to be bad. The policemen normally don't give them tough time.
I heard the best place about the city is if I came 20 years ago, you would have given me a tour of it yourself.
Yeah. So I have a full confidence in Canada improving the tourism, and when Chinese tourists come, they're going to buy a lot of things you out. You know, they say, I want to buy this, I want to buy that. With the logistics system we built up, they can shopping, spending money, and logistics will send their products back home immediately. It's going to increase a lot of jobs here. And these jobs are normally designed for small business because $5,000, $10,000, you can be a good servant agent to serve those hotels and bars and restaurants and all these things. This is what I feel passionate about, and I think this is what Alibaba want to do.
Outstanding.
So let's just switch gears a little bit and talk about some of the early days. You know, Jack, you had some struggles very early in your career. Kind of tell us what you learned from that and how that made you this incredibly dynamic leader today.
Yeah, I was very upset early days when I failed the examination for university, when I applied for a job, even KFC, I applied a lot of jobs. And they always say, you know, my cousin and I went to apply for a job in a 4-star hotel. I waited in a very hot day for 2 hours, a long queue, applying for a waiter job. And my written test score is better than my cousin. So my cousin is like 20 cm taller than I am. They accepted him and rejected me. When I came home, my parents look at me and say, you know, even a waiter, you don't have a chance. Oh. That was 1982. 35 years later.
Right.
My cousin still works as the waiter in the hotel. That was a great
that was
opportunity.
great news for you.
So I said, never give up. There is the opportunity for you in this world. Don't complain. Think about maybe somebody, you know, if there's a God, he said, Jack, you should do yourself, not working for the others. You have to think optimistic. You have to think about the future. You have to think, well, maybe I'm not qualified that, but I will qualify that. So never give up.
Yeah.
And never give up is something that, so when I'm going to upset, have a sleep. Next morning, another day, let's go again. And I have a good group of friends.
Right.
The friends trust you. The family trusts you.
Yeah.
So I think I'm very thankful for all the colleagues that I have, the friends, that they encouraged me. And we always, if we miss this, we say there must be something there, we should go. So be optimistic. What can you do? You cry? Right? If cry can help my getting more job, I could cry every day. Right? So later we were competition the same because our competitor is bigger, stronger than us.
Yeah.
We don't have a chance to win. And they say, we should not cry, we should make competitors cry.
Yeah.
Be creative. Then you will survive. Always be creative.
Yeah. So every entrepreneur in this room needs to remember that story because there's so many moments. I mean, it is hard to run a company, it is much harder to run a country. And it is in those moments.
Yeah, compared to the Prime Minister, we are much easier. Much
See,
easier.
that's what you just need
People
to
always
look
say,
at.
I'm not saying because Prime Minister of the government. After running 500 million people's community, I know how tough it is to be government.